All right. Well, welcome everybody to today's Empowered Women's Coaching Call. My name is Kira Love and I have the beautiful Rebecca Neale joining me today. Rebecca is one of my dear friends. She is also one of my business partners. And so life is absolutely amazing when you get to work alongside some of your best buddies, that's for sure. Before we get started and I introduce Rebecca to you properly, just a little bit of housekeeping. You can catch up on past Empowered Women's Coaching Calls over on the YouTube channel, and you can find the link for that in the description of this live. You can also join the Empowered Women's group, and you can find past recordings and really just some support and inspiration in that group there too. What else can I tell you? The other thing I want to share with you before we get started is we love when you share these recordings with women in your life who are special to you. We really want to make an impact. We do this stuff for love, and we want to really just empower as many women as possible. So today's competition that I'm going to be running is someone will win the Super Attractor Beautiful Inspiration cards. They're 52 affirmation cards to help you start manifesting limitless abundance today. So I'm going to send these out along with some other little Empowered Women's goodies next week to a special viewer who shares this on their Facebook as well as their Instagram stories. So make sure you tag Rebecca and you tag myself when you do that so that you can go into the running for those. All right, so today's topic, becoming a super attractor. Actually, before we get into that, I might just share who Rebecca is. Rebecca is a business mentor. She is a health expert, an ex-fitness model. Go you, babe. An entrepreneur with a huge passion and desire to help women get the heck out of their own way. I can resonate with that. And start making a living from their passions. She's your online bestie and ready to help you feel empowered, educated, and inspired to create massive change in your life. So that's pretty much the stuff that we're going to be talking about today as well. So I thought I might share by briefly just sharing what a super attractor means to me, and then I might pass it over to you, Rebecca, and you can share what it means to you, and that might be how we kind of open up this topic, because I get so many women message me all the time. Where do I start with my personal development? How do I start changing my life? And even women who really are just at rock bottom, whether they're coming out of a significant relationship or they're in transition with their career or really just not feeling inspired. And really these calls is where I'm sharing everything that has been working for me, and today I get to share your magic and the tools that you love to recommend as well, Rebecca. So what a super attractor means to me is it's really coming back to your truth and remembering who you are. I truly believe that this is where our power lies, and it was that moment that I just reconnected with my truth and really knowing that I was enough as I am, and that I have unlimited potential and power to create the life that I choose. And that's in each and every single one of you. And I think when we come back to that truth, that's when life begins to transform. I think it's choosing to align yourself every single day just with the energy of love and joy. This is when we align with the universe, and this kind of vibration attracts better quality people in our life. You know, I don't know if you kind of, I just remember when I was more of a negative person many years ago, let's say many years ago, probably wasn't that long ago, but you'd be repelled by the really positive people, right? Usually that says something probably about your vibration. So whatever energy you're putting out there, you're going to repel the opposite and attract the like. So if you want to up-level your life, you really need to up-level your vibration that you're putting out there. I think it's also becoming really flowing and flexible in your femininity. I think it takes far more strength to stay open-hearted through challenge and through heartache than it does to close off. And this year, that's definitely been a huge challenge that I have chosen to overcome and to face and to work through, is just staying soft and flexible and in that femininity and not closing off to, love and people and life's possibilities. I think being a super attractor is creating change and creating the life you want with ease, grace, and flow, rather than pushing and forcing things to happen. I think it's letting go of past attachments and hurts and letting go of fear of the future as well. You know, I'm in a huge transition in my life. I have no idea what my future looks like, but I know what I'm manifesting. I know what I want it to look like. And I'm just letting go and trusting that the universe has my back with that. I'm not going to, you know, be in moments of fear all day, every day around that. I really do feel guided, and I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I trust that. I think it's becoming consciously aware of all of the well-being that surrounds you each and every day. And I think when you bring yourself to gratitude, and it's a feeling of awe that you have. You know, I could literally sit here in this moment and just, when I become conscious of everything that is right in my life, it's a sense of awe and peace and gratitude that just kind of expands your whole outlook. And I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a sense of awe, and it's a beautiful space to be in. It's being in that beautiful state that I talk so much about on these calls. And lastly, I think it's coming back in tune with your intuition, knowing that you're guided, knowing that you can trust yourself above all. So that's what being a super attractor means to me. What would you add to that, Rebecca? What does it mean to you?
I love all that, and I can totally connect to most of what you just said then. And I think for me, it really is about the universal energy. And, you know, Gabby Bernstein really created that incredible saying, the universe has your back. And it's been one of my favorite sayings for a very long time. And what that means is that knowing that we have this universal energy that's guiding us and supporting us, and that we're able to tap into the abundance of the universe and connect to our inner guide, connect to love, and connect to spirit and source energy, whatever it is you want to call it. And, you know, it's all irrelevant, the names. It really just is all about being as one. And sometimes this can be a little bit woo-woo for some, but I think it's just really about what do you resonate with, and whether it's connecting with the word love or connecting with, you know, source energy, universal energy, and just knowing that it's here to help you on your journey. And knowing that the universe has your back means that you minimize those anxieties and all sorts of fears and limiting beliefs, because you're co-creating with something bigger than you. And so being a super attractor means that you're aligned with the love of the universe. I think that's the best way to put it. And knowing that we have the power to change our life and, you know, create those decisions that connect to something bigger than ourselves.
I love that. And so, maybe you can share a little bit, just to, because we've all been on our own journey. And one thing that I'm really aware of is, you know, I feel very aligned. I feel really successful. I feel on purpose. I feel that I've overcome so many challenges. And I know that when you're first starting out, it can be tempting to put women on a pedestal that seem to be further ahead of you or seem to have it all together, which, by the way, Rebecca and I do our little walks every day. She knows I don't have it all together, and I know she doesn't. So we're like each other's people. We're like, oh my God, this is happening. So first of all, you can definitely take us off the pedestal, but
yeah.
You know, maybe you can share a little bit about your journey of how you've come to just step into your power and remember your truth. Because I'm sure you're like, you know, empowered, successful woman.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the things I love, I guess, about being connected to something greater than yourself, it gives you a sense of freedom, and it gives you this knowing, this inner knowing that you're always being guided, and that you do have the higher power to literally create and change your life and create the desires that you are looking for. And it really is around thoughts and perceptions and tapping into that abundance of the universe, because I really believe that freedom is the greatest gift of all that we can give to ourselves. And I think, you know, I'm 35 next year, and I got to my early 30s, and I started to do like most women who are single, you know, beat myself up a little bit and think, oh, I'm not where I wanted to be. I haven't had children yet. You know, I'm failing at life in that sense. And there was a lot of that kind of negativity going on around me. And I literally had to make a decision that I wasn't going to let this own me. I wasn't going to let this be my truth and be the thing that held me back, and that I would step into my power and become a very powerful and empowered woman on my own. And then if I got the chance to share my life with someone else, then that would be amazing. And so I think there's women out there that can really relate to me that do not have a partner or have children yet. And I want you to know that that's okay, and that we're here to create massive change in other ways, and that when our time comes, the time comes. And this is where I've always been very spiritual since I was a teenager, but I really tapped into the universal trust and energy and having faith that it would work out in my favor at some point, and knowing that I did have the tools of the universe to work with. And because having faith in the universe I guess it destroys any doubts or limiting beliefs, and it leaves you with nothing but cold hard proof that you are the creator of your own reality, and that you can choose to live a certain way, and that it really is all about perception of what is right or wrong, or what we're meant to do or should have, or whatever it might be. And I think as your trust grows, so does the strength behind the ability for you to manifest and use the tools of the universe, which I want to share a lot on today, because using the tools that we have access to manifest or create the life we want, or more abundance, we really are able to attract into our life our biggest desires faster than ever before, and leave behind limiting beliefs that can really block us from enjoying life, because we think we're meant to be a certain way, and we're meant to be, experiencing certain things by a certain time. And so for me, it was really about connecting to this energy and knowing that I was provided for, and that it would all work out in my favor. One of my favorite sayings is that it's already happening, it's already done. It's all in my favor, on its way to me. So I guess does that answer that question there? I kind of went on a bit of a tangent there. So
yeah, absolutely. Look, and I'm sure there's a lot of women, obviously there's a lot of mothers that follow me because I'm a mother, but there's a lot of women who aren't mothers yet as well that follow me. And it's knowing that the pieces of the puzzle are going to come together, and it's making the best of where you are now. Actually, I did a post this morning that really just talked about, we're always waiting for the next thing to be happy. When I get married, and women are so guilty of this. They think their happiness is in the marriage. They think their happiness is in the kids. And I always laugh with Rebecca, actually. I'm like, trust me, when you have kids, life gets harder. Like, just keep having fun while you can.
You also said that you wouldn't change the nappy, so I've got to hurry up.
Yeah, I'm not even doing the babysitting now. You can, it's about filling your life with joy and happiness right now for where you are. No matter where you are, you have all of these gifts that aren't available to you at the next stage that brings another level of responsibility. So it's just relaxing into that and knowing that the pieces will come together. And I think as well, it's making life happen for you. And that's where this beautiful balance needs to occur, where it is about trusting the universe, but it's also doing yourself a favor. Stop being a neg ferret. Stop focusing on the past. Stop fearing about the future. Use tools that we're going to share with you today that help you become more present in the moment, and to stop fearing, what's ahead of you or what's in the past. And filling your life with things that make you happy, I think, as well. And I just want to do a little disclaimer before I let you get into your content. We're going to use words like universe because it's universal. But if that's God to you, if it's some other spiritual word, just insert whatever resonates with you, because I'm really conscious that we don't want this to sound all foo-foo and, all like crazy spiritual. Like, we're talking about real scientific evidence here around, vibration and energy, and what you put out is what you will attract into your life. So just stay really grounded in that knowledge. And if any of the words that we're using doesn't resonate with you, just switch it out with what does work for you. So, I know that you want to share a little bit more about mindset, and then go into some different tools and things. So I might just hand it over to you, and then if I've got anything to insert, I will.
Sounds good. I think just touching on what you shared, it really is, and I think you talk about it, is noticing that the well-being that is actually present in your life right now, and having gratitude for that, and not always seeking that next thing. And I think if you can do one thing today, it's make a decision and choose to connect to the universe and its power and the energetic, and like Kira said, whatever word you want to use, there's something greater than us that's supporting and guiding us. And once you do this, I can promise you that the universe always delivers to you, whether you believe it or not. You are always sending out energetic requests, both good and bad. So being conscious of that, because we literally become the thoughts that we think. So when we put that energy out there, it's really, really powerful. So I want you to take a moment now to think about something that you want to call into your life. You might want to write it down if you're taking notes. So just take a moment to say it out loud or write it down. And how do you feel when you write that down? How do you feel when you say that? Do you feel happy, excited, inspired, hopeful? Because if you do, then you're energetically aligned to your desire. If you felt worried or anxious or scared or uncomfortable or something like, oh, I can't do that, or fearful, you're out of alignment. And I love this affirmation to help you shift your energy when you're feeling out of alignment. So I hope you guys are writing, because I'm going to be teaching you lots of things. It's, I welcome infinite possibilities and I'm open and ready to receive. So this is just something that you can tap into to connect more back to yourself, to be open again when you're getting anxious and feeling like the universe isn't on your side or things aren't going your way. And what I want you to understand about the subconscious mind, and stay with me because it's a little bit scientific, but I also want to bring this in, like Kira said, we're not about being totally woo-woo, but there is so much out there now to teach you and guide you around this to know that it is real and it works. And so understanding how the mind works can probably help you to understand how the whole universal energy thing works, and how, I guess, mantras and mindset tools will actually work for you before we teach you those tools. Because I know that there's probably a few of you that haven't tried manifesting or mantras before, because you probably think it's too fluffy. So I hope that you do get a bit more understanding with what I'm going to share with you.
I'm so anti-fluff, by the way. So if you're
probably more fluff than you.
Yeah, so trust me, we're not talking about crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably on the fluffier side, but I think
you are actually.
I think you can just just take what you want from anything. It's like anything in life. If you're reading something, if it doesn't totally resonate with you, don't take it as gospel. Like, find your way in this life and pull different things. And that's something I love about being a Gemini, right? It's the polarity of both lives. And so pull from today what feels good to you. And if you want to explore it a bit more, then do so. But understanding that the mind, you have control over your mindset. It's really up to you to decide to change that from today onwards, because I love to say your word is your wand. So everything that we say is like a spell being cast upon your mind, like your subconscious mind. And what we think about and believe is our conditioning, or it's programming from when we're from the ages of 1 to 7 years old generally. And so when we're in this age, we actually live in the theta brain as a kid. It's a relaxed state. It's a meditative state. It's almost like hypnosis. So when you're in this state of mind, you're actually absorbing and downloading things like a sponge. So if you're a mama on this call today, these are things you need to be considering. What are the things that your child is, taking on board that you're saying, and what are they saying on repeat as well? So I think this is why limiting beliefs generally go all the way back from our childhood patterns and from our parents and our adults that were around us as a kid that taught us this. Because when we are kids, we're told things like, you can't have that. Don't do this because of X, Y, and Z. You can't, what happens when this is happening? We're creating this belief and pattern around that we are not worthy of that item, or we're not worthy of that thing. And you're too young as a child to understand this logic. So you start to create these beliefs around experiences, around different topics and things like that as a fact. And one of them is money. And we won't go into that today, but that's something that's a big ingrained belief from a child. And so money, can be stressful. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money isn't freely and readily available. These are all the things that we've been conditioned to believe. And so the subconscious mind is like a huge memory bank, right? It stores everything that has ever happened to us. And its main job is to just do as it's told by the conscious mind. So the conscious mind, I want you to think, is sort of like a gardener. It's planting all the seeds. So the experiences and things that you are learning, the things that you're seeing, the things that you're being told, this is the conscious mind. And the subconscious mind just follows the demands and receives from the conscious mind. And so it's like a garden, right? This is the soil where the seeds will grow and flourish. So the gardener is taking on all the things, learning all the things, then feeding it into the subconscious mind, which is the garden bed. So you can see that the subconscious mind is just a servant and works day and night with your behaviors to fit different patterns and emotionalizing things like thoughts, hopes, desires. And your subconscious mind either grows flowers or weeds in the garden of your life. So whichever you plant is what you're going to create. So this is where you really want to be conscious of the things that you are feeding your mind. And that's why the motivational activities such as inspirational quotes and cards like Kira was showing at the start of the call are so impactful for people that are committed to changing their thinking and being more positive. So by focusing on the thoughts, around positive things, and your subconscious will actually begin to implement a pattern, like a positive pattern of the way that you think and view your life. And so that's how the mind and the subconscious mind works. And that's why mantras, affirmations, positive cards, and all those sorts of things actually work, because you're consciously choosing these new thoughts and you're programming your subconscious mind with them.
A really easy way that I love to describe this is when you think about, like, let's just say you went down to the bush and you wanted to go for a walk, and you found a really well-trodden pathway. And so when you have, for me, I used to have that spiral of negative thinking, and really, as you said, you pick that up as a child from the people around you, the environment that you're in. And this is why healing is so important. For me, before I had enough self-worth to do it for myself, I was doing it for my kids, because I wanted them to have an even brighter future, and I wanted to be whole and complete so that hopefully they can be more complete human beings. So when you constantly have the same negative thought, you basically make a neural pathway in your brain that's so well trodden that that's the easy route that your body will take. So when something happens and you're triggered, you take that well trodden pathway every time. Whereas tools like what we're going to share today, and like what Rebecca Neale just said, the more you start to use them, you get to create a new pathway. So it might be challenging to get through that pathway the first time, but then it becomes more and more well trodden, and then you've created a new neural pathway, and this then becomes your new norm. And so for me, gratitude practice and different things helped me rewire literally my brain for I'm just a more positive thinker now. Naturally, it actually doesn't take work. I don't have to do mantras and mindset cards every single day to remind myself to be in that space, because that is now how my brain habitually thinks.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly how it works. It really just is that consistent ingraining your brain with the same thing. So you just either choose positive or negative. It's really that simple.
And I get really frustrated with people who are just poor me and don't want to come to their own rescue, because the reality is, if you don't, and this is my little tough love bit, all right, is that if you can't be bothered finding 5 minutes a day to do this shit, then you probably deserve to be an egg ferret. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so harsh. This is why we're friends. Keep me in line.
But I'm like, come to your own rescue. No one's saving you. Come and save yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think about how much I was in pain as a human being, and how much I just was annoyed at my own negativity, let alone people around me. Okay, so the work is worth it, and it doesn't have to be incredibly time consuming, but it does need to be consistent.
Yeah, definitely. And, on the beginning of my podcast, I actually talk about no one's coming to save you, because they're not. And that's where I got to a point in my early 30s. I was like, no one's coming to save me. I've got to do this for myself. I've got to make this shit happen, right? So yeah. I totally love that. And I think you just got to make that conscious choice. Yes, it's okay to feel different feelings. I really believe we heal through feeling. However, it's how long you stay there that's the issue. Yeah. And so, like,
feeling is, and I did another post yesterday that people will hurt you. Life will hurt you. You will move through some pretty epic challenges in your lifetime. But healing is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Moving out of victim into, stepping up into your life and stepping into your power and healing and moving on is your responsibility, nobody else's.
Yeah, we literally have a choice to make, and that's what's exciting about having tools that we're going to dive into now. And I think I'm assuming most people have seen Gabby Bernstein's new book, The Super Attractor, because Kira shares it a lot on here. But if you haven't, get out there and get it. I've loved Gabby's work for as long as I've known. I've pretty much owned every book she's ever created, but this is up there with one of the best, I would say, for sure, along with The Universe Has Your Back. And so, Kira, can I dive into some of the tools now?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, cool. So one of the ones, I'm going to teach you guys 5 different ones today, nice and quick. I teach these to my clients all the time, and it's really just about finding one that resonates with you and doing it in your space that you have. You do not need a 3-hour morning routine. If you have 15 minutes, that's all you need. It doesn't have to be the same as everybody else. It doesn't matter if, Kira around the corner is doing a 3-hour morning routine and I've got 15, so I'm doing 15. So then the tool inside the book that I really loved, and that's why I want to share it for those who actually don't have access to the book, but it's called the Choose Again method. It's a 3-step method. It's about when you're feeling stuck and you want to get moving again, because we all get into a state of not being in flow, and sometimes things aren't going our way, even though sometimes it feels amazing, and then all of a sudden we feel stuck. That's normal. Like, I go through this, Kira goes through this. We can be really high on life and then have these moments where we're flat again. And so using different tools like these not only helps you manifest your life and the desires you want for yourself, but it also gets you out of the funk. And so I really liked this method in the book, and I want to share it with you guys. And it's a 3-step method. So the first step is witnessing the fear-based thought that is blocking you and understand how it makes you feel. So the first step is always awareness. This is the only way we can create change in our life, is by being aware of what's going on and recognizing that. Number 2 is forgiving yourself for having that thought and forgiving the thought altogether. In other words, let it go. It doesn't matter. Don't beat yourself up for thinking what it was. Just recognize it, forgive yourself for having it, and then let it go. And then 3 is choosing a thought that holds a better feeling. So a more positive thought, maybe it's around gratitude, and reaching for those thoughts and helping that, makes you feel good. So if you can master this and use this regularly, this 3-step approach is going to help you change your thinking. It's going to catch you out when you are being that neg ferret, like Kira said, and you'll start to notice the different changes in your life. Because like I said, sometimes we feel like we're so on fire and that we're just rocking it, right? And then other times you just don't seem to flow at all, and you're like, when am I going to get a break, universe, right? And I see this all the time with my clients, the ups and downs. But in saying that, know that that's normal. Without the dark, we don't have the light. Without the up, without the down, we don't have the up. So be okay with the different levels and experience there. So one of the tools that I know a lot of my clients actually freaking love, and I almost didn't put it in for today. So it's the 55 by 5. This is the chance for you guys to, it doesn't take long. And so this is something that, my clients do a lot in the mornings, because it's a great way to set up your day. It's literally reconstructing your subconscious mind. So the 55 by 5 formula is about writing out a specific desire that you have, that you want to manifest 55 times for 5 days in a row. I know that sounds crazy, but it is very, very powerful, because like we just shared, the subconscious mind needs to be programmed. So the number 5 also is actually, in numerology, signifies realignment, change, and transformation. So it's really powerful as well. So you just need to choose an affirmation on any topic. So make sure it's really specific, really short and sweet, and connected to your desires, something that's maybe really exciting, and that you can connect some emotion to. So I've got some examples for you. Actually, I'll just bring them up. I'm grateful to receive $500 this week. Money comes to me daily so easily. I'm thankful to be healthy and well. I'm healthy and lean. So you can just use real short little affirmations around whether it's, a business goal, it might be a family goal, it might be a personal goal. And then just make sure you have a notebook or a journal every day that you're going to write in, and write out the affirmation for 5 days, 55 times, and try and stay really present whilst you're doing this writing process as much as you can. And really, the key here is to just let it go. Once you've done the 5 days, forget about it. There's no need to ponder and obsess over it. It's really just about, I guess, remembering that like attracts like, right? So the more positive you put out there, the more you're going to bring back in. I think Kira just shared that before. And so you will actually attract these things right back into your life. So that's a really easy thing. You can add 10, 15 minutes in the morning. Maybe you want to do it before bed, so it's just consciously on your mind as well. So another tool I love is flow journaling. This is something I personally use so damn much in my life, probably every single day, to call in money desires, and probably mostly for manifesting abundance, but you can definitely call it in for other things, relationships, friendships, and things like that. And journaling can be, there's so many different types of journaling. Journaling is a great way to release anything that's keeping you stuck, or any emotions that you're feeling that you want to get out on paper. However, flow journaling it's really about writing your dreams into reality. And this is what today's call is all about. It's really about being a super attractor. So attracting in what we want into our life. So I thought flow journaling would be much more powerful to teach you guys today. And so when you journal in flow journaling, it's writing it as if it's already done, as if it's already happened, it's already on its way to you, as this helps speed up the process of manifestation. So I highly recommend that you use a notebook to do flow journaling, and that you hand write it, because the creative process in itself is really powerful. And the key to flow journaling is just to become childlike again. You know, one of the things that I see so much is that people forget to dream. People forget to be playful. People forget that, you know, we're all so serious and we're following all these structured routines and things like this. But when you flow journal, it's about being creative. You know, I effortlessly make my health a priority every day. The food I choose to nourish my body with allows me to have more energy and more abundance in my life. I feel so worthy and deserving to, you know, as I start to move towards the next level version of me. And I'm so thrilled and proud of myself as I sit here with my coffee and I look at the lifestyle that I've created for myself and my family, It's something like that. It's really just about writing into now what you're hoping to call into your life, maybe in the next 6 months, maybe in the future. It doesn't really matter. It's really, really powerful. And it just allows you to get creative. So sit, you know, in nature, by the beach, at home, wherever, you know, feels good to you, light a candle or something like that, and just get excited about what it is that you're wanting to call in. And another tool is tapping. Now, tapping is something that has been around a really long time, but not everybody probably is aware of what tapping is. It combines the modern psychology and ancient Chinese acupressure. So it's actually tapping on the meridian points of the body. And what it does is actually brings awareness to your fears and limiting beliefs that you carry and behaviors that you may wish to release. I personally have used this and found this really, really powerful for anxiety and nervousness and also manifesting money. I used this a lot when I had the biggest shift in my business. So I know it works. And there's so much on YouTube. I might even get Kira to leave some in the group as well with Brad Yates on YouTube.
You can actually find practitioners as well. You might be able to Google in your area.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's so incredible. A lot of people use this. It's not a woo-woo technique. It really does work. And I think whilst you're doing this, you're able to create new beliefs and reprogram your subconscious mind. Again, like we shared before, it works by, I guess, physically altering the body's energy and nervous system, because not only are you speaking into reality your positive affirmation at the same time, you're reprogramming and you're pressing on the body as well. And so the key to fast transformation is really about changing your body and your mind at the same time together and changing your state and your physiology. And, you know, Tony Robbins talks about that.
And there is a lot of science behind it. Actually, I think I learned from Tony Robbins. I learned from someone, because I have a really bad memory. I really need to remember. I do it with the girls as well, like their schooling and stuff, if they're struggling to remember something. If you just tap at the same time as you say it, you're more likely to hold on to that piece of information.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
Walking around doing
God. There really is, though, like no limit for what you can use tapping for, like you share with the kids. Like you can use it for anything, to clear and release and feel centered around literally anything. It's super easy and you can follow along. I love Brad Yates on YouTube. He's been on there for like 20, 30 years. They're pretty old, some of them, but I think Nick Orter or someone is another one, but I'll leave those in the notes with Kira. It's something that you could create, like use in your daily routine or your evening routine if you want to use it regularly, to help you go a little bit deeper, I guess, with your self-development and your manifestation. So there's lots of reasons that I love tapping. It's not just for manifestation or being a super attractor. It's really about health and wellness as well, around anxiety or illness or, you know, different things like that as well. And the last tool I want to touch on today is meditation. And there's a lot of hype around meditation at the moment, but it seems to be the one thing that people resist the most. And it doesn't make sense to me, because it's so easy and so simple and it's free. We can do it anywhere, but nobody does it.
But you know, like, I mean, I know the power of meditation. My greatest transformations, my greatest lessons delivered from the universe or my inner being, wherever they've come from, have happened during meditation. And even though I know the power, I still find myself resisting it. And, you know, even just recently I had another, I guess, just challenge that I felt stuck in, that was definitely affecting my energy for several days. And as soon as something's affecting me and dragging through the days, that's when I really know I need to address it, because I like to be in my most empowered, happiest state. And I just did a meditation one night and it just completely realigned everything. And it's like, again, here's another lesson, Kira. Meditate.
Yeah, it's that constant proof that it works, you know, every time you do it. And
I've actually found a really good one that you do at nighttime as you're falling to sleep. And so I'm lying there anyway, There's nothing else to distract me. And and it is all about just realigning with the universe and telling the universe what you want, but also surrendering. And it's just been so powerful just because it brings me peace every night and just puts me back into that alignment. And yeah, you can find ways to do it where it doesn't have to disrupt your life if you're just getting into it and you're finding it a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And I do meditation. If I've been working on my computer for 10 hours or whatever, at night especially, I'll always put one on. Insight Time is a free app that you can use. And it's got great meditation. You can chuck it on while you're in bed, like you said, and just fall asleep to it. Because meditation, it's so powerful. It's been proven to benefit physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health. Like, it really is the key to life. Like, we can really feel good when we do it and attract more goodness into our life. So if you're not using meditation as part of your daily practice, you will be after you experience how amazing it is. It's one of the most powerful ways to reprogram your subconscious mind, like we shared before. But not only that, it will connect you to your inner truth. It will help you, connect to your wisdom, like Kira just shared as well, and help you connect directly to the message of the universe or the source or your higher state of being, because meditation is a state of being, right? It changes you for the better, and you find this strong sense of peace and connection and compassion as well for other things, because it's so easy to be triggered and so easily to get stuck in comparison or feel envious or any of these emotions that don't feel good in our body. But when we meditate a lot, we actually have this inner peace where we're a lot slower to react to things like that.
And I think it helps you see a broader range of perspectives as well. So you're not just stuck in your one-sidedness. And the other power that I would really say, which I feel women are so struggling with today, that much of these calls are about, is we all have that bitch noise in our head, and we think that that's us. And that's why our self-esteem is so low, because you're listening to this next ferret all day telling you that you're not worthy and you're not enough. But when you meditate, you connect with your true essence, which is the being that is listening to that noise. And so that's where I remembered the truth of who I am. That's where I was able to access self-love and self-acceptance. And that came through meditation. And I've done so many personal development seminars, and they've all added their value, and I will continue to do them. But meditation has been the most powerful transformation tool for me, and I'm pretty sure it will continue to be so.
Yeah, definitely. And anyone that's, large in that space of personal development will always talk about the power of meditation. And anyone that's successful talks about that, because they've created success by connecting to their truth. Because if you're living in a space of copying others or trying to be like others, you're not living out what you're meant to be here doing. And by doing meditation, it can really allow us to connect to who we're meant to be and who we're here to be. And it really can be used in so many ways. It can help you to manifest your desires. It can help you to calm your mind and your nervous system and tune into your dreams and visions. It can heighten your frequency and vibration as well, because you're coming into that place of love. And it also helps you reprogram your subconscious mind, like we shared. And there's so many ways to do meditation. I think this is one thing people forget. We can actually do moving meditation just by, in the form of walking through nature or doing yoga. Yoga is like meditation to me at some time.
Surfing, for obviously women do it too, but I think a lot of men love surfing because it's basically a moving meditation.
Yeah, there's actual studies and proof that being in the ocean surfing gets the brain actually into that state of meditation, like the same brain waves, which is really, really powerful. And so finding an opportunity for you to include this in your day is going to shift you dramatically. And it doesn't have to be for too long. It doesn't have to, it's about being consistent with it. That's the key, I think. And sitting in silence is actually more powerful than listening to meditation all the time, because we're so used to being, picking up things and being distracted and doing all these things. But when we actually stop for a moment and sit in silence with ourselves, we can connect to our heart center. And that's where like our truth is. That's where our inner wisdom is. And like you shared, that's where the answers come from, right? So make time for guided meditation, but also make time for a little bit of silence as well, so that you can just clear and free the mind. But they're the tools that I love personally. And I also have had a lot of success with my clients using them. So I hope they've been really helpful to help, everyone become a super attractor. But I'll hand it back over to you, Kira.
Yeah, so you know, obviously we've been talking about these tools, and you've heard them now from pretty much everybody that I've interviewed has shared a version of the tools that they're using that really help them step into their power and their truth every single day. And so one of the things that Rebecca came to me with when we discussed this call is how could she add the most value, and it was her idea to record a meditation for you guys, a guided meditation. And how long does it go for? It's only a few minutes, right?
Oh no, it's about 9 minutes.
9 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's nice. So it never feels like 9 minutes. It felt like about 3 minutes last night when I was listening to it. But, you know, we kind of discussed the content and what these calls are about and how we would like you to feel at the end of that meditation. And when I listened to it last night, honestly, I had so many goosebump moments, and I know that Rebecca recorded it with me in mind and my journey and all of those things. And part of the meditation as it ends with our beautiful empowered women's mantra, which is, I am an empowered, high-value woman, strong yet graceful, standing in my greatness, yet humble, connected, and kind. I lead with calm courage. I am self-aware and sure. I know the truth of who I am. I embrace my imperfections, and I am flexible, fun, and free to be me. The most magnificent I will ever be is myself. And so what our challenge to you is that we want you to have that self-love that over the next, and just commit to a time frame that you feel that you can win at. Okay, we're not going to say do this every day for a year and then report to us, right? If it's 3 days, if it's 7 days, what do you feel you can commit to? Because we know that when you get to the end of that commitment, you are going to feel such profound change and just a beautiful sense of peace and alignment that you will choose to continue that, whether you choose to continue it with that specific meditation. I know Rebecca has other ones that she's releasing. And of course, the world of YouTube and all of that has a gazillion things. There's an app that Beck mentioned. I use a different app. Someone asked me in the comments. The one that I love to use is one of my personal mentors released it. It's called Breathing Room. Obviously, I'm very connected with it because it's one of my mentors. So yeah, it's such a beautiful, I just really want to acknowledge you, Beck, and just thank you because you really did capture the essence of what I wanted to share. And I think this meditation is definitely going to help the women come back to their truth, align with the universe, and create change in their life with ease, grace, and flow. And yeah, just help them remember who they are and their power every single day. So is there anything that you wanted to share on this particular meditation?
I just send me a DM if you love it or any feedback that you have on it, because meditations are so different for everybody and the experience. And yes, I did, as one of Kira's close friends, I know, you know, the experience she's been on and how much you guys and this empowered women's call means to her. So I had that in mind whilst I recorded it. And it really is created for you girls, like you women that are listening today. It's really a powerful meditation and it's very specifically made for that. And so I'm excited to hear what everyone thinks and how much everyone loves it.
We would love you guys to inbox us after you've done it, you know, for even if you have a transformation after 1 day, however long it takes. We'd definitely love to hear back from you guys on that. So I've actually posted that in the description of the live over on Facebook. So you guys can go there. If you're watching a recording or something like that, or this has been shared somewhere, it's my personal Facebook, Kira Love. It would also be sharing right now on Rebecca Neale's page as well. But I'll do my best to make sure the links, wherever this recording is placed, that the link is there as well to access. Is there anything else that you wanted to share today?
I think the only thing I want to leave you guys with is that don't beat yourself up about being perfect when it's about trying these new tools and creating the life that you want. It's about making it work for you and using what feels good to you, but trying new things. Like, don't just take loads of notes today and then not do anything with it. Actually commit to one tool, because it's exciting and you can be like, I want to try all 5 of them, but just choose one. And it may be
fail because you didn't do any.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's really like if the meditation is the one that you use, go with that and then try the 55 by 5 or something after that. But really, it's just about honoring you and your journey where you're at, but remembering that you are exactly where you need to be and that the universe does have your back and you will get all that you desire in this life.
Absolutely. I love that. And, I think a part of that is if you are in a challenge, because I'm getting a lot of messages lately of women who are at their lowest low, and just having faith that something magic is going to come out of that. And like you said, Rebecca, it's not about putting pressure on yourself that you have to use every tool every day. It's about having a range of tools in your tool belt. And, you know, I sometimes get stuck in a frustrating pattern when I'm going through a challenge, and I might get stuck there for a day. I might get stuck there for a week. But I have a range of tools that when I become conscious and aware that I'm not in a great place with my energy, I know that I have a range of things that I can choose from. And usually it occurs when I haven't been consistently showing up to meditate or do something that keeps me on track. But either a friend will kindly point that out, or a friend will listen to me and then say, okay, well, how are we going to move through this? You know, make sure you have people in your life who are there to listen and support you, but also then help you get back on track and point you in the right direction. And that's where, you know, learning about these tools, it's not that we want you to go and do these 5 things every single day now. It's, you know, doing what feels in alignment with you right now that you can consistently do. And if you get on track, get off track, so do I. So does Rebecca. Days will go by where we've forgotten to do those things, and we begin to notice the impact of that. And that reminds us to get back on track. And that's just the cycle of life. And you get better and better. You become more and more, I guess, expanded, more and more aware. And I think that is just the journey of life, right? That is the point.
I think you bounce back quicker when you are committed
100%.
to growth. So when you do include these tools and you do slip, you bounce back faster because you have
so much faster. And you get sick of yourself so quickly as well. Like, I think I get sick of myself before anyone around me does. If I'm in oh yeah, thanks. So, yeah, we hope you love it. Please let us know what you think. Just a reminder, I'm going to draw someone out next week to win this, along with an Empowered Women's Shaker, and I normally put some other bits and pieces in there. So please share, please tag us, please let us know what you love and how this is making an impact for you. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for your time. Thank you for your generosity in recording that beautiful meditation as well. I have to say, I am so picky with who I can listen to while I'm meditating. Like, I definitely have issues with people's voices and whether that like helps me be soothed or not. And I have to say, like, I really, really enjoyed listening. I know you've got like a little croaky voice.
I'm about to be worried here. Should I be worried when I talk to you on the phone?
No, it really was beautiful.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. We hope you have an incredible week. Actually, on Thursday, I'm following this up. I'm going to be adding an extra Empowered Women's call probably every fortnight, because there's so many amazing women coming into my life that I really want you to meet and I want you to hear from. So this Thursday at 11:30, I have the incredible Layla Steed. She is an independent mama. She has this amazing, successful blog that absolutely blew up when she became an independent mum. She's a very vulnerable, beautiful story, and she's going to share how she is, you know, really thriving as an independent mum. So I know that's going to resonate with a lot of women. And even if you're not a mum or not an independent mum, please come and tune in, because I think you'll be just really inspired by her strength as a woman. Thank you so much, Rebecca. We can't wait to have you on again. And yeah, thank you for sharing your light with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I felt so honored. So thank you for all that tuned in.
Of course. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.